young man that has picked Denver in the Super Bowl tomorrow, like Steve Cook, and a young man that looks like a smaller and younger version of artist Leroy Neiman. Let's take a look.
All right, let's see the position that Chris Warren takes on the approach. To accommodate that gigantic hook, he has to get way to the left, almost like he's shooting a 10-pin. The overhead camera reveals that he's almost standing on lane 28 to his left. He'll send it out over the third arrow with a big hook.
And it came up high.
Trouble. Whew. The 2,
Isn't that awful?
4, 6, 7. Kind of an unusual split. What he has to do is get that ball over here where the 3-pin is and drive the 3-pin over into the 4. The 4 hopefully will knock out the 7-pin.
Big odds.
I'd say about 5 to 1, Chris.
Okay. So it's disastrous open frame. In the 6th for the tournament leader, Chris Warren. Out in the lead by 27 is Steve Cook, who is up and uses the full approach. I mean, all of it.
Head-on shot. Steve Cook, he'll attack. He knows he has his opponent down. He's not going to leave anything in the bag.
Well, here we go with a 4, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Well, we're getting some real splits here all at once. And what Steve Cook needs to do to make this is to get the ball over in the 6-pin area and slide the 6 over into the 3. It's easier to make it that way because the 6 will twist between the 4, 7, and 8. Let's see what he decides to go with. Try to drive the 3 over into the other side.
Stacy and Jill, their daughters. Stacy on the right. Look at him.
He'll throw it hard and try to bounce it out.
Now, that's power.
Well, Cook was going for the pin count. The percentage when you get a 5-pin split such as that is to go for the 2 and slide the odd pin over into the 3. And Cook, obviously with a lead, decided to keep his 10-pin lead through 6 frames.
10 pins separating the 2 now. Cook leading. 7th frame. So it's a 7 again for Steve.
Steve Cook fighting his speed control. He's such a big man. He gets so much leverage. As this ball, he throws a little bit too hard. Ball slides too far down the lane. He almost leaves a 7-10 split. Gets away. Leaves just the 7-pin. Need this spare to maintain the lead.
So now's the opportunity as we move to the 7th frame for Chris Warren, who has 1 strike thus far in this match. Pretty convincing.
Good shot there. And you really look at Chris Warren's game. He had the ball in the pocket in the 1st frame, left the 4, struck in the 2nd, and he left a solid 9, solid 10, solid 4 the next 3 frames before making that mistake in the 6th. He can recover that with a strike here in the 8th. The match would be all tied.
Wanted that 10 as well.
Just not to be. This game, Chris Warren is throwing 7 out of 8 balls right in the pocket, and yet he only has 1 strike, 2 strikes to show for it. Now he knows he's throwing this well. He keeps his head down. He looks up at the ball. He says, come on, the match will be even. Hook.
Russ Lane did get the 10. So Steve Cook is moving up to the approach now with the spare working, shooting in the 8th frame. A real battle for the title. So Steve is left to 2-4.
The pressure of a title game, both players a little bit wild, trying to do too much to the ball instead of letting it just happen. Cook's been somewhat all over the head pin this game, and he still leads by 10. A little concerned face on his wife, Candy.
Winner of 14 titles, including the Firestone and U.S. Open, Warren has yet to win. And for Warren, the victory here would make him eligible for the Firestone Tournament of Champions, so there's more than the title here in the 20,000. It's moving up in class.
That's for sure. Third jewel in the Triple Crown. Pete McCordick is 52nd on the list right now, and he would be bumped out if Chris Warren could win. But right now we come to the pivotal 9th frame. Cook has an 8-pin lead.
And experience. So now it's in Chris Warren's hands. All right, a pressure shot for the young fellow from Dallas, Texas. When he's not bowling, loves to build model cars of those cars he'd like to own. So I asked him, what would you like to own? He said, well, starting with a Shelby Cobra, then a Ferrari. High goals.
Better win some tournaments, better throw some strikes in this position. When he was in this position last night, the 42nd game of the tournament, he threw 2 strikes to take the lead away from Steve Cook. Let's see what happens now.
Chris Warren, 26 years old, small but powerful.
Well, right now Chris Warren has a chance to take a 12-pin lead, but if he doesn't strike, we have a chance of another tie in the championship game. Remember last week, Marshall Holman, David Houston tied, went into 2-frame roll-off. There's an outside chance of that happening again this week.
Tremendous pressure.
What a terrific, exceptional shot in this position. Almost leads a solid 9. And this young man does not have to doubt his ability to perform in the clutch. His 3 best shots, the 9th, 10th, and 11th frames so far. He cannot shut out Cook.
That was a Cobra. Or a Ferrari. Woof.
Well, that shot there eliminated the chance of a tie. It's simply for Steve Cook must throw 2 strikes, 1 in the 10th and 1 in the 11th, if he is going to win. If he doesn't strike on either ball, Chris Warren makes a trip to the Firestone.
Well, Chris Warren has won his very first title as we go back to New York City, Manhattan. And